guys, welcome to Champagne Talks. I am your host, Vanessa Gamez, and today we have a special guest. She is my best friend. However, that title does not go by itself. She goes by Slaps. She is also a poet, an insurance hottie. Yeah, she can hook you up on insurance. And also a salsa dancer. You can find her on Instagram at __slaps__. And here we are. Welcome.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Cool. All right, and 3, 2, 1, and action.
Hey guys, welcome to Champagne Talks with Vanessa. I am your co-host, Vanessa Gamez, and today we have my beautiful best friend, Slaps. We're ready to pop some bottles.
I just want to say I'm so excited to be here. Hi, Mom.
Hey, it's my dog's birthday today, by the way. Grace turns 5.
Oh,
yeah.
Happy birthday to her.
We got to celebrate for this.
Celebrating. Oh, and this is a special bottle, too. You should tell them what it is.
Not only are we celebrating Grace's birthday, but we're also celebrating Clico's. This bottle right here is actually her 250th anniversary special edition. As you can see, the top of the cork has her face because she is an icon. That's right, #icon. But also, happy birthday, Clico, and thanks for bringing us champagne. All right, we're gonna pop this bottle. Hopefully it doesn't like, oh, chingada madre.
Hello, everyone. The party has arrived.
Yes. We should get like an up close of that disco ball. There's literally a disco ball over us. Definitely how I feel about life. It's glam. All day. Well, this is mine. Well, whatever. I'm going to give you this one.
For you.
No. I'm going to give you.
I mean, they're both clean, so it's not like really
Here you go.
It's such a pretty color, too.
Mm-hmm. So, if I'm not mistaken, Rosé has a blend of red. Another reason why Homegirl was rich. She was actually bankrupt at one point, and she turned the company around.
Yeah. There's a lot of stories like that, though, too.
Yeah. So, I don't know if people really know a lot about you. I don't know if people know that you're a poet. They also don't know that I don't know if some people know that she obviously, she loves dance. You can clearly see that. But I don't think they know how long, how did that start? And then not only that, but like the empire you're building in insurance.
Yes.
So
my baby.
I know.
That's my baby.
Life insurance though, bro.
Yes.
Maybe who's like 20, 21, 23. Some of y'all get it. Life insurance is very important.
It's super important. And I feel like one of the main things I tell people all the time, I tell people if you're between the ages of like 25 to 55, you're not too old to get it.
Right.
Especially when you know how to work it. Like I have 8 different life insurance products. One of them is like, it's a type of life insurance that you can create like cash flow and revenue off of. That actually helps me retire. Like as an entrepreneur, I don't have a 401k or a Roth IRA, but both of those things actually have caps. So, just throwing that out there.
Guys, totally want the podcast to be, how can we make some bread?
I'm just saying, that's it. If you're going to bet on anybody, bet on yourself.
Yes. Cheers to
so
that.
It's like,
bet on yourself.
And you can make money and you can withdraw it from the policy without touching your death benefit. It's really some genius stuff, honestly.
You haven't been in it very long either, right? Like you're
5 years.
Wow, it's been 5 years.
We're kind of old.
She doesn't mean that. I don't believe that.
We're 21.
No, yeah, forever.
22, yeah.
Yeah, no.
So
I'm gonna be fine till I die.
But remember, I remember when she started sewing classes, and now look at her. She's like a true fashionista. She makes all her clothes. Everything I have on, she bought. So it's like we've both grown together.
This is very true. I have redone her whole entire closet, and it's been a pleasure because she's been like, "Are you serious? Do you really want me to wear this?" And I'm like,
Some
yes.
stuff you would never believe the patterns on it. And I have I have a lot of colors. Because before I met Vanessa, I wore a lot of cowboy boots and t-shirts and...
Texas.
But now like 90% of my closet is truly VG Creative or Orta, like the collection. I have some really fly suits.
Okay.
I hate that. But yes,
You don't know until you try it.
and it's
Yeah.
so good though because like as I grew my name, as Slaps, with the poetry thing, I needed
Wait.
places to go.
People,
I mean,
so,
I needed clothes to wear to
guys,
places I went to.
slaps, like, when you hear slaps, you're like, but
Slap a
it's
bitch.
not, right. But that came from it being so hard.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
So slaps is actually like a slang term in Las Vegas, actually on the West Coast in general, Cali. Like if that song slaps, like it's a hit, like it's a
Right.
jam. And when I first came out as a poet, I used to constantly have a new poem every week. And so for you to have new content and memorize it and be able to spit it off the dome every week, and like it's all from the heart, like personal experience, like I mean it slapped every single time.
Right.
And so I actually really focus on making really quality poetry.
All day.
And I think that's how I got to be so big doing poetry and like publishing a book.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So pretty cool stuff,
I
But
was
yes.
like semi-naked the first time we met.
I still have that. But in fairness, we've both seen each other naked.
It was Halloween, guys. It was Halloween.
Halloween.
I love
The only time we
Halloween.
can dress like
Yes,
that. I know.
and yes,
Mean
I
Girls are
approve.
fun. Mean Girls
Yes.
we are wearing pink, by the way. And
So
it's Wednesday.
I know. Oh, it's like
It's
Ash Wednesday.
Oh, really?
I saw people with some ashes.
I didn't know.
Look, I was born Catholic, but I don't practice it.
My mom's a Jehovah's Witness. And so-
Yeah. So I saw a couple of people walking out here with like that, and I was like, oh, but I'm guessing that represents the ashes of Jesus.
What?
I don't really know.
I-
Well, I know Easter's around the corner, and it has something to do with it together. And I apologize to anyone that really knows.
We're gonna do our
I'm
research,
going to research.
We're going-
Even though I grew up in that, and I kind of just followed through because I went to a private school.
Yeah.
And so Mass was done every Thursday, and I wore like the pleated skirt and like the high knee like socks with like my shoes were from the Philippines because I had a friend that was from the Philippines, and like that's like the best leather that you can get.
I know.
And you can do custom, so I was like, for sure. Throw her some bread back then, and like would wear that. I'm talking about like third,
the money
second
throw
grade,
for me.
yeah. Or trade, right? Because when you're kids, like it would be like, ooh, I'm so old that we fucked with CDs. Okay, so
You remember like the little CD album book?
yes, it
Like
was
the
so
40s.
big, dude.
And then making your own CDs.
Yes.
I remember
I
once-
dedicate this to you. You inspired me. Exactly. The love songs. How was I so in love? There's no way.
I get it because I feel like I love being in love, if that makes sense. 'Cause I
Absolutely.
feel like I've fallen in love with a few people.
Yeah.
I've
Blindly. I've been like, I just like the emotion, guys.
hopeless romantic, but and I've fallen out of love too, which
Yes.
is a thing. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think being in love, especially when you're a kid and you don't have no bills to pay yet, it was kind of.
You don't have anything else to do. And like, guys, we didn't have TikTok. I didn't have TikTok.
Yeah.
I didn't have Instagram. You have these like young kids.
Like just go viral.
Yeah.
after
And I'm
everything.
just like, what the?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucky to their parents. Like, I didn't get to. No, we did the phone. So I did like 3 ways, which you guys probably have no idea what that is.
I still 3-way people to this day.
Hey.
Do
This is
not
business
play.
meeting.
For real. I 3-way people. I like to 3-way my sisters a lot. Almost like a group FaceTime chat.
Yeah. That's where the idea evolved.
Yeah.
It's technology.
But I literally love, and it goes well, like you said, with business too, because let's say I'm supposed to create an event, right? And I need to call my partner and ask my partner something, and then my partner needs to call the club, and the club has to have the general manager on the phone. Like, communication is still the key to practically everything.
So on that, communication is the key to everything. Do you feel like people struggle now even more because there's less in human interaction because we have all this technology, or do you feel
Definitely.
like, yeah? So like, what is something that you've noticed, like off the top of your hand, that you're like, man, like, you know, because we're this new generation that is experiencing the technology change. Like
Right.
we're in that gap.
Right.
You know, we're seeing it evolve and fast.
Right.
So having that experience of not having what we have today,
Right.
what's like something that you've noticed like in behavior that we have that you're like, damn, that's because we spend time texting and calling.
I feel like, for one, with the evolvement of technology, humans have somewhat become robotic, which is why creatives
Yes.
are so easy to spot. Because it's almost
Damn,
like
targeting.
I'm just saying,
I
I'm just saying creatives are easy to even me. Like, I'm easy to spot. Like, it's very hard to miss. So I just feel like people who are so soaked up in technology, we find them boring. People
Yeah.
like us find them boring. They're very robotic. They're very boring. And I think that with the way of the world right now, like I once dated a girl who, like, she told me, she was like, when we're 70, we're going to be living with the robots, because her job was to build maps for robots. And you see it on movies and stuff all the time.
It's happening. It's
But
already, actually, it's already here.
Yeah, it's already happening.
Yeah.
But for, like, it to be on the streets and stuff, like, I'm gonna be walking with the robots. Like, I'm going to live to see
Cyber
this.
girlfriends are going to be
It's-
super real, dude.
It's
Like,
crazy.
you know, I mean, the porn industry, I know, like, already is, like, at its peak, right? But the other flip side of that coin is that, I mean, you're making bread easily, but damn, like, you want to have that interaction. Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yes. You want to have that human interaction because we've experienced it. And I think that's what makes this generation special, whether
It
people
also is what makes love hard, because people don't communicate and they don't have feelings anymore.
communicate. Again, so the texting and calling.
Don't text me. No, FaceTime me right now so I can see.
FaceTime.
so
FaceTime.
I can see
Okay.
your face, and then I want to see you later in person. Like, I want to touch you. I want
Yeah,
to physically-
because that helps. It's a part of our senses.
Yeah.
I
And
think
we were
it's
made to be like that. Like,
yeah.
communities were made for people to work together, not just off of, like, Zoom and WebEx, like, in real life.
Absolutely. Dogs. I work with them all the time, and I have to read them as soon as I get an interaction. Like, I have to be able to see their facial expressions and be like, are you scared? Are you traumatized? Like, obviously, this is a new setting. You don't know who the fuck I am. I'm an alien to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm about to touch your paws, and I'm throwing water on you, and you're just like,
all up in
where
my
the
business?"
fuck am I? Where's my mom and dad? How dare they?
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And so, like, I have to make it a pleasurable experience with the dog because I see them, like, it's crazy. They're truly like babies. So they will shake like this. Like, they'll look like this, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And, like, you have to be like, it's okay.
Yeah.
That touching matters so much.
I mean, imagine if more humans just did that.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Well, I don't know why I don't have that concept. Like, maybe we should get together where we're just like, all right, today, guys, we are going to touch each other's hands.
We are going to have a healing circle. where we
Yes.
just
Oh my
touch and
gosh.
heal.
How does this feel? This is normal,
No,
but this
but seriously,
it's not sexual harassment, guys.
Right. Seriously, though, I feel like humans have lost connection because they don't communicate with their voices anymore due to so much, like, technology.
Yeah.
They don't communicate with their body as much because
We're
they're
hybrids.
on technology.
We are literally becoming hybrids. We are
Humanity, get it together.
Yeah,
man.
no. We are already there because, like, the knees, like, when you replace your knee with
Yeah.
the kneecap, you know it's going to happen. I don't care what you say. As you age, like, you will start replacing your natural bone with aesthetics. And, like, that is becoming a hybrid. Like, wow. You know, like, if we were born during, like, caveman times, like, we're not going to have that.
Right.
They were advanced enough, like the Egyptians and, like, the Greeks and stuff. They did, like, amazing surgeries. And
Yeah.
we have evolved their ideas that they had into what we have now.
And they left the writings on the walls for
Yeah.
us to carry them down, meaning you still communicate and write
Right.
stuff down.
Which was, like, symbolism.
Yeah.
Back again to the arts. I definitely appreciate a good designer in any aspect, an artist, like an actual painter. You are the creator to help with visualization.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
literally painting images with words is a concept in
Yes.
itself when you're a performer. But there would be no, if I couldn't evoke feeling in my, like, imagine if I go to a concert where I'm used to speaking in front of 250 people and it's just a whole bunch of robots
Yeah.
that don't touch each other, or like none of them have ever felt love before. They've never been hurt before, so they're not resonating with what I'm saying in general. I think communication, like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
just feel like it just goes a long way.
Well, we're so special that the reason why there is AI is because of the human. Like, you can't evolve a robot without studying the human first.
Right.
Like, they need our information. We're so complex as beings that you need years of study. Like, this isn't something that, for AI, I feel like it's been something that we've been working on.
Right.
We have years and years and years, especially with creating of like industrial machines. When we went textile over on to like getting factories. From there on, I feel like, yeah, that's where we started incorporating that. But the machine will never be a human.
Yes.
And that's the thing. Like, that is what is always going to have us on the top, is because we are unpredictable.
Yeah. And
We
what's
are to a
scary.
certain extent. Like,
Yeah.
there's algorithms, and you can do all this mind game, but there is going to be someone out there that is going to understand this complex information and be like, no. Like, that's why we have athletes.
Yeah.
Like, that's why these people reach the top, is because they can gather this information, process it in a certain way that nobody else wants to look at it. And it's a part of open-mindedness. It's a part of, like, just an idea,
Yeah.
to feel something different.
You're right.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something. I can't go be a WNBA player. I can't. Listen, you got to know what you're good at. And everybody's bodies, that's why everybody has different DNA.
Yep.
Because the whole concept is everybody's built to do something different. Like,
Yep.
everybody's supposed to be different. And
Yep.
with robots, like, wanting their own, like, power or whatever, that's the thing. Like, they don't realize, like, yeah, you think you can outsmart a human, but humans are the people who created you.
Yeah.
So technically, you think you know everything, but maybe
Right.
you don't. Like, maybe you're like 8 different humans in one, and all of those humans have like 73% more knowledge than you think you have.
There's a power and energy that I think that I learned with like pet grooming from going to these seminars, is like, the more you domesticate an animal, their physical will change. So like a wolf, there's this one guy that I think is studying them, and he was able to domesticate, I think it was a fox. And so that's like unheard of. But the
Did it
problem,
get like rounder?
yes, the teeth changed everything from just adapting to the human. Like, it was
Like it gained happy weight or something.
yeah, right? Like when we weren't happy in a
Yeah.
relationship and we just get
Right.
fucking fat.
Yeah.
Well, it adjusted to the human's life. And so, like, one thing that I see is that some people may not understand that your influence affects everything around you, including your dog,
Yeah.
including your cat. So the more you bond with it, the more it's going to change as it evolves. As a breeder, I see that. I want the best of that bloodline. But like, we have this huge influence on it, not just from the development of like how we talk to it, the food, the surroundings, like how much we interact with it.
Right.
It will affect how it looks. We have changed. And I think it's with what we, change around us. Like, I mean, we have all these buildings. Why can't we think like those buildings aren't going to affect us on a different level of like being around fucking trees
Right.
and plants and all
I
this
always
stuff?
jokingly say I might sell my insurance agency and move to it.
Yeah. I mean, like, guys, so let's protect humanity.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe you should partner with someone.
Yeah.
well,
well, my
that-
aunt's already like gonna buy an island, and so I was just thinking
An island.
Yeah.
So casual.
I mean, if I was making the time,
So casual.
kind of like.
This is like Beyonce and Jay-Z status. Like, didn't Jay-Z buy Beyonce a fucking an island? Like, isn't that, okay.
I'm blessed to say I have an aunt who did the hard stuff to make it to where she is in life, and she's always available for me too. She's almost like a second mom because, you know, like she took me in. And she helped me, like, you know, she was like, you always gotta have a plan, you know, you always gotta have a schedule, and that's where she's at in life. And, you know, like, when she buys an island, I kind of just want to, like, when I get the money to buy one next to hers, you know, and just, like, move our family and friends out there if things get
Fucking
too
goals,
crazy in America.
yeah.
So, I kind of already have.
I'm just
y'all
gonna
not gonna
casually
have
fly
me.
in and be like,
She's probably gonna be
bonjour.
on the plane with me, so.
And I bring my dogs.
Literally, we're gonna have, like, a plane for Vanessa with dogs. It's gonna be a
Hello,
dog's
I have
flight.
arrived, guys.
Literally. I feel like
It's
you
champagne time.
should. You should
Champagne.
definitely take your people. Almost because no one took what 2 of all the animals in the ark.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine being on an island with normal island dogs and not like actual poodles. Like your life would be distraught. You would have to bring.
Xerxes,
Yeah,
for sure.
for
And
sure.
Grace and Ava.
So I mean, you would have to. That way, we could keep the dogs alive and maybe have like little dogs.
And be
on
like,
different
Grace, you gotta
islands.
pump out as much as you can. No, they. I mean, they can have
Or
up
maybe
to
bring
12.
some like huskies too. Like maybe you're like the official dog person.
You know what's so funny? Like, that's like the next runner-up is a husky. I have so
I
many.
want a husky. So
Wow, I didn't know.
I don't really do dogs. Like I gave my dog to my godparents because I'm never home to take care of him.
I feel like she is ready for a dog and she just doesn't know it. They're great.
I'm ready for a baby. I feel like
Yeah,
a
that's
baby.
perfect. That's perfect
and-
for you. They don't talk back.
But then the shedding with the huskies, right? I hear that
I'm a pet groomer.
I'm not.
Hello, this is why we're friends. This is how you resolve problems in life. This is called an excuse because I'm a pet groomer and I can solve this
is true.
problem.
This is
Yeah.
true. But
Yeah.
I'm still hunching on doing it.
But we're going to live on an island.
Yes.
And we're worried about husky hair? Bye, girl.
They're gonna be fine. I don't even know why I'm worried. They're gonna be fine. I really feel like huskies are a good like boss dog. Like I like their faces. I like their like makeup.
They don't like their feet touched, but I've interacted with a few that like are divine.
nice.
Yeah, there was one in particular. She changed my whole entire perspective of the husky, and I was like, you need to be bred, because she would give me her paw. Yeah.
I love
That is like unheard of. Most huskies are like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
And don't touch me. And this girl was just like, oh my God, please
Give me a
blow dry my paws. Like, just please.
Were her owners like super cool looking?
She was like, I've only had her for 3 months. And I was like, what the hell? I'm like, okay, no, she's just naturally divine. And that's what's great about temperament of a dog. Like, to me, I don't care what anyone says, Xerxes has a very charismatic personality.
Yeah.
You know, and so he will do the same thing, because some of the poodles that I work with, I'm like, how are you posh? Like, you're not. So we have to train them. Like, they will literally pull away. Most dogs don't like their feet touched because they're not used to it. So, but if you domesticate the dog and you teach it to that touch is normal,
hand,
then they're like, oh, I'm fine. But the natural reaction of a dog would be to defend itself. So it will pull away, be aggressive if it needs to, because it's not used to what you're doing. That's why I was like, learning from dogs makes me think about the human race all the time, because I'm like, okay, well, the less touching and interaction that we have with people, we become disconnected.
Yeah.
And then we react a certain way that someone that is used to it won't. And then you'll be like, what the fuck?
And it's true, because people who are like not touchy are like not my thing.
Yeah.
Like the human interaction, just to like feel the blood pumping, I think it's just like it's something. It brings like a different.
It's an
like,
artist
energy.
thing almost, like, because it is an energy transfer. It does make you feel different. That to me is the experience you want, right?
Yeah.
Drugs can help, but they're not the best resource.
Right. Also have natural energy. Be
Yeah,
naturally
yeah,
high on your own
like,
vibe and other people's
I try
vibe.
to meditate as much as I can because it really helps with understanding the thoughts that come through my head and then processing them, because sometimes they can rush in, and the overwhelmment of all these words, and then you attach words with feelings, and so you're just like, oh my God, overwhelmed, because your brain wants to solve it. It naturally just wants to solve what is going on. That's where cloudiness comes in, and meditation will teach you to be like, okay, let's remove everything and don't think of shit. And it's like that whole like, don't think of shit. Like I think of shit all day.
Yeah.
And so that practice is like, okay, just focus on the noise of that fan. Just focus. That trains your mind.
Yeah.
And I think it's healthy because
It is healthy.
if something traumatic happens to you where you're just like overwhelmed again, where you're just like feeling shot with too many things going on at one time, we'll teach you to be like, all right, I need some space to process everything, because right now I'm just overwhelmed with everything in my head. And some people naturally react, and the reaction can be aggressive, it can be sad. Some people will just walk away, and it's just, what is the best way to handle it is always going to be your resource. Like, how can I, when this is happening to me, not be violent? If I'm going to be sad, okay, how can I carry on with my daily tasks? Because some people really hit rock bottom, and we'll have those conversations about like suicide. And it's all feeling, right? Like it's all like the overwhelmment of things. I think every life is special, and if you can live it to your fullest, and it's kind of weird to say, but if you can die of a natural cause,
Yeah.
it's better versus like you deliberately taking it away, because you were created to be someone special, like you said earlier. Like no two people are the same, right? Like maybe finding your purpose, finding.
I'm sorry to
No,
interrupt you.
totally.
I really want to like time out on this because I take suicide very seriously. I speak to people about it. Like I'm doing something for a nonprofit this weekend, and I work with like girls who are under the age of 18 who are Latino and Black, and I try to help with suicide prevention. Because at that time in my life, I did try to commit suicide a couple of times, and I've actually like tried to help with adults too, like through my poetry and stuff. Like if I meet people, I try to guide them to good centers that actually really do work with therapy for free for people who can't afford it. And I just want people to really take it seriously, because I lost a friend to suicide. You remember? Never even met before, but sometimes like I'm very big on treating people like they're human, and so like if they sound like something's wrong, or like I'll ask, maybe like homegirl on the phone, and then be like, well, you're a mom. That's a job. That's great.
Yeah,
and sometimes they just need to hear that, because they just got through putting 3-year-old in the back room to have one conversation for 10 minutes. And she's like,
I don't know if her vagina had to get restitched.
No, we don't know.
We don't know if she had to get a C-section.
We don't know.
We don't know if
We don't know if her uncle has liver cancer.
Right.
We don't know nothing.
We don't know nothing.
Because everybody does have problems.
Yeah.
Every person you ever come across has problems.
Yeah, something. Right, and so we can take it personally. We'd be like, damn. But it takes energy and strength to be like, okay, yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
Have a fabulous day. You look great, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, you have to train yourself to have that interaction with everyone.
And you know what? I'm so glad we bring this up, because I actually, this past weekend, I was at dinner with a group of friends, and a conversation came up about capitalism and individualism in America, and me and the girl didn't agree. We didn't agree, but I chose to still treat her with kindness. I even bought her a drink, and because it's okay that we don't agree.
Right, absolutely.
And I don't...
That's where ideas generate from.
Literally.
Contrast. If we were all the same, it would be boring.
So boring. Imagine
We would
every
not
day,
grow.
Literally.
Yeah, we would not grow. Nothing would be invented.
Some of you zodiac signs wouldn't last because you can't stand being bored. I hate that.
I'm a Libra, guys. Okay, I'm balanced.
Just
I'm not really balanced. But she's a Taurus, by the way. You're an Earth sign.
I am very grounded.
Yeah. Okay, so grounded, meaning like she feels like a Taurus. Like, think of a mole.
Think of one.
Yeah, please, because if you don't know, I'm putting you on some game about Tauruses, and I hope you all Tauruses agree. You guys feel to a certain extent that when someone pisses you off, that's that red flag
It's
shit.
a red flag blackout.
It's like that Spaniard. You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that red cake that they're holding. Come on, bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not for the sport, but I can understand why.
I bet it gives a great
But-
depiction of when Taurus is mad.
Absolutely. And because you love hard. You're literally feeling, okay guys, as a human, scientifically, you are literally made up of all the elements outside. Okay? Like the air, the soil, like water. So you're connected on another level. And so I feel like whenever someone says something offensive, you're like, why didn't you think about this?
I literally, especially if they don't take the time to really put together words that will actually go with the conversation. And because I just think it's
Again, she's a poet.
it's okay.
Like,
to think
it's like
before you
common
speak,
sense.
though.
Words, poetry.
Yes.
Words, poetry. Taurus.
And then when you like speak over me because you're trying to like prove a point, because I was telling her,
You don't speak over a Taurus.
I could
First of all, the Taurus would be like, okay, now feel my silence. Because you are so irrelevant that I will.
my ignore game is really strong. It's like to the
Okay,
point where it's like
bye. Yeah.
I will like if we're in a group, I will ignore you to the point where people will like notice like I am clearly not speaking to you.
Like
and like
you. Yeah.
I will literally, but the younger version of me, the unhealed version of me, was way worse. Because you say one thing wrong, you look at me wrong, and it was over. It was game over. So I definitely feel
I'm glad I met you later.
literally, and she's a Libra, so Libras are very like, more free spirited, more open, like
We're
but
confused about dumb shit. Like, I will. Maybe another Libra wouldn't agree with me. Maybe they won't. But I feel like the normal stuff in life, I'm like, I totally get it. Okay, cool, I got it.
right.
But it's like that dumb stuff. I'm like, why doesn't this make sense to me? And I'm confused. Like, literally, like, this is Chinese and I'm reading.
It's the
like,
simplest thing.
right. And I understand math, which is, like, really weird
Yeah.
to me. But for whatever reason, it's almost like that, like, perspective. I never want to feel like my ego has the best of me. I always want to feel like I understand where you're coming from because I've experienced it. Let me experience it first. Let me try what you're doing, whatever it might be, right? Which is not always so great. But in order for me to like understand, sometimes we just have to cut it off. And it's finding that balance that is like, oh, that should have been done like 2 months ago. Got it. And we try to get better, but
But that's the journey.
That swing,
That's the journey. And I mean, there's so much fun in growth. Like, there's so much, like, if you were born perfect, it just wouldn't be the same because the journeys wouldn't be the same. And you wouldn't have crazy stories to tell. And you wouldn't be like, okay, well, I just
we're a little
wasted-
dramatic too, but we like theater. I mean, I love theater. Anything Tim Burton is my favorite. So I like a little gore.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a perfect ending, but something realistic where you can find beauty in that realism. I think maybe Salvador Dali is probably one of my favorite painters because he did surrealism, which is like your subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
And so he would literally try to remember his dreams to the T, like to paint them. to understand the human mind. I mean, he spoke different languages. Apparently, he didn't know how to count money. He never really
I
slept.
wish I spoke different languages.
You can.
I'm gonna learn.
Yeah. Let's travel. I definitely want to learn French and Italian, which can be similar to obviously Spanish. It's just, they're rooted together. But yeah, I just think that like this right here is so important in your dome, your brain.
It is.
And we are all trying to find this like safe place. There's technology which can be the downfall of like people putting false information out there, not the best advice. And then also you have to recognize what you're comfortable with. What are you happy with? Like, and being okay with that, because that is your life. It's not, hearing other opinions can distort what your story is. I just think that like that there's too much noise nowadays, and that you have to like really, really discipline yourself to hear just yourself and your thoughts, and like knowing like what are my roots, what do I want, what do I want to experience, what do I want to evolve into, why is this something that attracts me, and answer those questions genuinely to yourself, not by because someone loves me and they're telling me what they want. They can genuinely love you and want the best for you, but it doesn't mean that that's your purpose.
Correct.
And so like it's learning that, channeling that within yourself. That can be really hard because there's we naturally want to feel. We don't have that as much anymore.
But learning different, like, versions of love too, I think is super important. I hate to say this, but I feel like if you really did love your exes and you really were in love with them, you learn how to love better. Like the next relationship you in, it almost seems like it's way better because now you know so many different ways and versions. Yes, of
almost,
love. And
right? That's the idea.
Yeah, it's a concept. I don't think if you love the same person, if you love the same way to everybody, you are toxic.
Yeah,
you're the problem. I hope they zoom in on that part just for you.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Oh,
it's always a learning experience.
We can't forget to talk about dance.
Oh, yes. So, if you don't know, now you will know. I think I'm biggie every time I say that.
You don't know.
Now you know.
Right.
Right. So, I, like always, I don't care. I was going through a breakup, and I've always been involved in dance. If people don't know, I did ballet and tap for like almost 17 years. I started when I was like 3.5, literally, as a toddler.
Shout out to all of our moms who did that to us.
Yeah, and
thanks, Mom.
I dropped out because a lot of people around me weren't pursuing it. So it was
going
like
to Juilliard is actually kind of, it was hard back in when I went.
It's really weird because when you're 3.5 and then you turn 16, 17, 18 and you are posing, you're performing in front of, you've done this your whole fucking life, where you can see someone from a corner and mimic their movement and perform. It was really weird for me because I was the only Latina always, and that really affected me because I developed early, and so like I would wear sports bras because no one else was going through puberty. And not only that, like I was beginning college, and like I couldn't go to my girlfriend and be like, I'm doing ballet tonight or whatever, and embrace it. I should have embraced it, but like no one was doing that around me. I was the only one that's like, I have ballet and tap practice today. So that discouraged me a little bit, and I just stopped. And I am truly sad about it because I could have developed way more. However, it has made me love dance. And so like I was going through this breakup, and of course I texted my bestie, and I was like, let's take a dance class and let's take salsa, because because I'm Latin and I'm brown and I love all the sazon in my life. And she was like, sure, why not? Like,
Oh my gosh.
you
yes.
have never ever been like, no,
Well, for one, I guess.
no, that's a bad idea. Like,
No,
it's always been
I-
supportive. It's always been like,
So
okay,
listen.
bitch, you want
so,
it? Let's no problem. Let's
no,
just go.
look, if you guys, so if you're not familiar, if you just happen to scroll on this interview, I just want you to know that people are always very surprised by me and Vanessa being best friends because we are literally the exact opposite. Like, she'll text me like 17 times and I'll text her like one thing. And that's always been
I'm
the
air.
dynamic of our relationship. So
she's
she
earth.
found like a Groupon
just swift
for like
to
4
the energy.
bachata classes, literally. And she's like, hey, Groupon is having this like 50% discount or something. And I need to be on your schedule. And
Save
it's every
money.
Monday at 9. And so Monday was my only free day at that time, which obviously your best friend would know, like, this is my schedule. So Monday was my only free day at that time, and Vanessa was like, no, bitch, I'm going to be on the schedule. And anybody who knows me will tell you I love Vanessa to death. I treat Vanessa like she is my wife. Like, I would do anything for Vanessa. So we go, and mind you, like, we bachata'd as kids, like at quinceañeras and stuff, and I did hip-hop. I did a lot of hip-hop as a kid. So for like 11 years, I danced hip-hop. But hip hop is very saturated, and I feel like everybody's just twerking now, so it's just not the same. Like, as an entertainer, like, it just, like, hip hop just seems like it just doesn't feel the same. But this is challenging. Like, and then the coach was really nice.
There's levels to that shit. Just like in any craftsmanship, like, once you go into whatever you like, you begin to acknowledge that there's like so much more out there.
There is. You never stop improving.
Yeah, absolutely. So professional never stops learning. Straight up. Like, Salvador Dali said it, if I ever reach perfection, I will die. Like, straight up. If you ever feel like you have, you are,
Perfected everything.
yeah, you're just on the top, you're on that level, you're done. That's in anything.
Literally. You never want to
Anything.
stop improving. You never want to stop growing.
But dance is a
I love it.
whole nother level of
I'm addicted.
energy. It's an expression.
It is.
You
It's a form of art.
like, this is one common thing that I love about art
Yeah.
and expressing. It doesn't matter whether it's dance, whether it's ceramics, whether it's fashion, whether it's dogs, whatever it might be. Your energy transfers over whoever is looking, whatever you're creating, it is going to be there.
Right.
The beauty of that is that you get to see your real self. And either you accept it and excel, or like you're just like, no, I'm done. And
Or you just keep going. Sometimes
Yeah.
you gotta keep going.
yeah, but
And-
you are definitely one of those people that's like,
Excel.
you're like, okay,
We must excel.
I must be fabulous at everything that I do. Let's point these toes, everyone.
It's so funny because for a while it was just kind of something fun to do. It wasn't even. I wasn't even taking it.
It still
seriously.
is.
It still is very fun.
But there is a technical side.
There is a very, and my coach is like the biggest coach in Houston when it comes to technique and strategy. Like, just because you think you can dance doesn't mean you can dance.
Yeah.
Basically. And, you know, going up on those levels, because she took classes too, going up on those levels is a different
Yeah.
kind of discipline. It's a different kind of timing. Dance gave me a really good life perspective about discipline and timing and memory. I struggle a lot, I think, with remembering things sometimes. And we have to learn new choreos in like 20 minutes. And so it's almost like
It's very
there's that.
challenging.
And then with me being like performing on a team, I have 3
You have
minutes
to
on
look
the stage.
great.
Yeah, I have 3 minutes
All
on the
the time.
stage to look great, not forget my steps, not mess up my tricks.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, and
That's
perform
another thing.
and give people a show.
Right. So that's another
Yeah.
thing about like your emotion.
Yeah.
So if you're nervous, you don't want to show that to people.
You never want to look like you're thinking. My coach
Yeah.
always tells me that.
Yeah.
Because some girls, they dance like this. I'm not, because, you know, they're growing. Everybody's growing. But you can definitely tell me, like, because I'm just, like, very, like, here we go. You see it.
There's
You see it.
it's Vogue. It's Vogue. It's Vogue.
And those spins are hard. Double and triple spins are hard.
Yeah,
I don't
they
care
are.
what anybody tells you.
No, I know
You-
from ballet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Point Like, so they would always be like, look at something on the wall and keep your eyes on it when you turn. Every time. And like, it's all about structure, it's strength. People don't understand, like, dance is like a form of another level of strength.
With your body. And
Yes.
you feel everything. I feel everything from my
But not
toes
just
to
that,
my
like,
head.
like,
It's a,
your
like your whole,
hands,
yeah.
the way they curve them.
Yeah.
So you're like,
Now I'm
Words,
performing in like festivals, going to
performing
Mexico.
and insurance. You're covered. So if
True
we ever
entrepreneur.
if we ever travel anywhere
And
and
we can
something
dance.
happens, we're covered by insurance for sure. We're dancing our asses off because we're having fun and feeling it. And then not only that, we're remembering everything by words because we're going to go ahead and embrace that. Thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I love you.
I love you more.
Yes, Gail. And I
Champagne
hope,
talks.
yes, and let everyone know what your Instagram is. And
So my Instagram is __ SLAPS, like you slap somebody.
sorry, I just slapped.
__ I should have tilted it a little bit. And then on Twitter, it's the same thing. It's slaps. I'm slaps everywhere. Also, I would say if you're gonna do anything
Hashtag.
for social media, find me on Apple Music or Spotify.
Yes, please. Download.
Slaps. And go listen to some poetry. You never know what you'll find.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.